Hi everybody and welcome to the third episode of Game in Your Pocket. Today we'll take a look at Tin Helm. And Tin Helm is a complete dungeon crawler in a very small box. Everything you need is in this small tin box. The game is designed by Jason Glover. And three important things when I look at these games: fast to set up, pocket-sized, and affordable. This particular game is not available as print and play yet, but it's still a relatively cheap game. So let's see what comes in this tin box here. Dice and tokens, two different size of cards, enemies, loot, and the dungeon itself. We also have several different characters that you can play. And we have some trackers for health and other stuff. And the final cards in the box are the rules of the game. So everything is included. A complete dungeon crawler. Now, first thing is to pick a character. And we have 4 to choose from here. You can see the character, their starting health, energy, and food. And on the back side, we have the different classes. For example, Marauder, Alchemist, and Footpad. And the class on the back side of your character cards is unavailable for that particular character. So you cannot be a parson and a merfolk at the same time. But I'm going to pick my character in a while. And just before we set up the game, we have trackers for health, food, energy, and favor. And then we have a tracker for the dungeon level and enemy health. I have chosen to be a crawling marauder, and I will add up my health for the character and the class card, as well as the energy and the start food. So I will have a total of 13 health, I will have a total of 10 energy, and I will not start with any food. Then I'll put the small pawn at dungeon level 1, and I have a tracker for the enemy health here. The crawling has a special ability to flip 1 attack dice once per dungeon level, and I will begin with a bedroll and an axe. And you will be able to see the starting items at the class card. The goal of the game is to collect 3 shards in the dungeon. If you collect 3 shards, you will win the game. Of course, you'll have to survive doing that. So let's get started by shuffling the dungeon deck, and the start dungeon card will be the kitchen. Let's go. First, we have to decide what to do. We know the kitchen here, and by looking at the symbols, it will include an enemy and a campfire. So I can choose to go that way, or I can take the chance and pick the second card. I will choose the kitchen, and then I will flip the next card to see what kind of monster I will encounter. And in this case, it's the skelepede. So I'll find the skelepede in the enemy deck and see what I must fight. And here we have the skelepede monster card. It will have 3 health, no damage bonus, 1 shield, and it will give me 1 favor. And then there will be a special ability as well. So first thing you do is to take the health, and then you will add the dungeon level. So the total health of the skelepede will be 4 health. Next thing is to decide how much energy you will use to attack. And I will decide to use 2 energy here. And then I will add 5 damage to my attack. And an attack roll is always 2 dice, and you will subtract 1 dice from the other. So in this case, I will have an attack of 2, but I will add 5 from my energy. So a total of 7 damage will hit the skelepede. The skelepede has 1 shield, so that will be 6 health, and it has a total of 4. I have destroyed the skelepede with 1 hit. That will earn me 1 favor, and then I will have a chance to camp. And a campsite will give me 2 health and 1 energy, or I can get food. And I really haven't lost any health, so I think I'll take the food. I could have had 3 health because of my bedroll. But, well, I'll take the food this time. I will need the food when I move further into the dungeon. So next card is the waterfall, and it will include a surprise, and it will include the chance to find food. I'll pick that and I'll see what surprise. Oh, it's a shrine. I think that is good. Actually, I'll have to check the shrine here. Yes, I will gain 1 shard. Great start. Yeah, quite lucky here to begin with. So I'll put 1 shard on the crawling character and then I will search for food. And when you search for food, you roll 1 die. If you roll 5 or 6, you'll find food, and otherwise you will be disappointed. So yeah, a roll of 3, there will be no food at the waterfall. So I'll collect the cards, and next I will step further into the dungeon. I know the quarters will have a monster waiting, but there is also a treasure, so I'll definitely take that. Well, the next card was even better, but well. And the monster, I will encounter dark rats, but take a look at the treasure chest. It will include another shard. Ooh, this could be a fast game, but I'll have to survive the dark rats first. And they are not the worst enemy here. They will have 3 health. Give me 1 favor, and when I defeat the rats, I will get food. I think I'll use only 1 energy to defeat the rats. And, well, that was a bad choice, because I roll only 1 additional damage, and that will not kill the rats. But I have my special ability, so I can flip 1 die to the reverse side, and in this case it will be a 6. So that will be 4 damage, and 1 for my energy, a total of 5, and that will be enough to defeat the rats. I will earn 1 favor, and I'll earn 1 food. But most importantly, I will get my 2nd shard, and I'm not even halfway through the first level of the dungeon. Next up, the corridor with a trap and a surprise. I think I'll pass on that card. So what I do is I flip that card first, and then I have to take the next room in the dungeon, and well, there is a trap and a treasure chest. The trap will cost me 1 energy. That's bad, but in the treasure chest I will find a turnip, and I can use that to gain energy, or I can use it when and if I meet the pigman. And well, not a bad card. That could be my chance of getting the 3rd shard, and that would be incredibly fast. This is a game that can be very fast. It can also be a bit longer. Next up, we have the sewer. There is a trap, but there's also a campsite and the chance of food. I'll go that way and hope the trap is not so bad. Oh, yeah, 2 health. But I'll get them back when I camp. So I'll lose 2 health first, and then the campsite will give me 3 health back and 1 energy. I cannot move above my starting health, so I'll get 2 health and 1 energy, and then I'll search for food, and as usual, I missed that one. So the next card is the chasm, and it will include a monster. I will avoid that. So I'll flip the card, and then I have to take the sanctum, and that was even worse. I will lose energy again, and I will encounter a wraith. My energy level is getting dangerously low, and I'll find the wraith here. It's quite a tricky enemy. A total of 5 plus the dungeon level in health, 1 damage bonus, and it will subtract favor if it hits me. Yeah, I will have to spend 2 energy to get 5 damage bonus to my attack, and that was a good roll. It's 4 plus 5, it's 9, and there is no shield, so I will kill the wraith, and I will earn 2 favor. And that was the end of the first dungeon level. I found 2 shards. That was really, really good. So I will remove the dungeon cards, and then I will move my pawn to the 2nd dungeon level, and each time I move a dungeon level, I will have to eat 1 food. And if I don't have any food, it will cost me health instead. And the monsters will be increasingly harder to fight because now I have to add 2 to their health. Well, but I have 2 shards, and that's good. Let's move to dungeon level 2. Shuffle the cards, try to avoid looking at the top card. And what do we have here? We have the chasm. Why would I go that way? I will only meet a monster. So I will flip that one and I'll be forced to take the next. And that is the sanctum, of course. Even worse. And it's another energy trap. And it's another wraith. This is bad. I really don't have energy to fight the wraith, so I am forced to sacrifice my turnip here. That could have earned me a 3rd shard, but I must eat it and get energy instead so I can fight the wraith. And this wraith is even worse than the first one because I will have to take 5 health and add 2 now because of the dungeon level. So 7 health. And still it will eat my favor if it hits me. And, well, I will have to spend 2 energy to get 5 damage bonus to my attack. And a bad attack roll. But it's the 2nd dungeon level now, so I can once again use my special crawling ability and flip this die to the opposite side. That will give me 4 plus 5. It's an attack of 9, and that will destroy the wraith. But I have used a lot of my energy and already my special ability here in the first room. And the next room is the stash with a treasure chest. I will definitely go that way. So let's see what is in the chest. It's a shield. Yeah, we'll find the shield over here in the loot deck. And the shield will give me 1 shield. That will, of course, be useful. So monsters now have to do at least 2 damage to harm me. And the shield will be destroyed if I get a really hard hit. Next up, an old well. There is a monster and I can also find food. I think I'll flip it and take the next, and it's the statue room. And there is a trap and a chest. And the chest is empty and the trap will cost me 2 health. Not good. But health is not my worst problem, my energy is. Here in the sewers I can find a campsite and I can search for food, so I'll go that way. There will also be a trap, and the trap will cost me 1 energy. It's always my energy. Well, but there is a campsite, and I will camp this time, gain 1 energy and 2 health. And then I can search for food, and I will not find food this time. Yeah. I'll move through the sewers and then I could enter the catacombs. A monster and a surprise. I think I'll pass on that one. And then I will go to the kitchen again. And there will be a monster and a campsite. And the monster is another skelepede. So let's get the skelepede out here. And this time it will have 5 health. 1 shield, and I am really low on energy. Yeah. So what do? I think I'll have to spend 1 energy and hope I can defeat the skelepede. So that will be 3 damage plus 1, that's 4, but it has a shield, so it will only take 3 damage. And it will still have 2 health left, and I am almost out of energy. So the skelepede will attack. It will hit with 3, but that will of course be 2 because of my shield. And now I have a thing I can do. I can do 1 damage without any energy. I can always do 1 damage that can't be defended. But again, that won't kill the skelepede. It will attack me again, but it won't penetrate my shield, and I'll then use my special 1 health attack 1 more time, and that will in the end defeat the skelepede. So now I can camp. I'll get my health back, but only 1 energy. I'm still really, really low. So let's look at the clearing. There is another campsite and there is a surprise. I'll go that way. Hope for a good surprise. And the surprise is an altar. Yeah. So let's see what I can find. The altar here will give me something good depending on my level of favor. And I have 7 favor, so I'll get health and energy back. The altar can also give me a shard if I had more favor, but this time I will be satisfied with health and energy. But I have a chance to camp as well, and even though I need the energy, I will take the food this time, so I'll have 2 food. I can change 1 food into 1 health and 1 energy. That's quite expensive, but it is possible. But I have finished the 2nd dungeon level. I will eat 1 food and I'll move to dungeon level 3. And once again, the cards are shuffled. And I will shuffle them good. Try not to look and see what we can find. And this time, the Sanctum. I will definitely pass on that one. So I'll flip it and I will be forced to move into the statue room. And there will be, of course, an energy trap. And then I will meet a mimic in the treasure chest. These chests were supposed to be good, but that's not the case here. The mimic will hide in the chest, and I'm now at dungeon level 3, so that's 7 health, 1 damage bonus, 1 shield, and I will earn favor depending on my dungeon level. I have 2 energy left, and I must spend them to get my 5 damage bonus, and then I will attack the mimic with a really bad attack roll. It will not destroy the mimic, but I can flip the dice using the special ability. That's 2 plus 5, that's 7. But with 1 shield, it will not destroy the mimic. It will still have 1 health left, so I will face an attack. But only 1 damage. I will be saved by my shield again, and then I can do my special non-energy attack. And that will earn me 3 favor. But I'm out of energy, so I will have to eat my last food. 1 food will give me 1 energy back, and then I will pass on the old well here. I must avoid a fight, so I'll flip that and I will take the next card. It's a waterfall, and there will be a surprise, and the surprise is a bunch of rats. But we know the rats already, so I'll speed things up a little here. I will defeat the rats, and I will not find any further food. I'll get 1 food from the defeated rats, but I am completely out of energy. So I am in trouble now. The kitchen will be the next card. There is a campsite, but there is also a monster, and I have no energy to fight. So I must pass on this one and hope the best. Unfortunately, I am in for more rats. It could be far worse, but still I'm in trouble. I must consume my final food and gain 1 energy just to be able to fight. The rats will have 5 health, and I will be able to attack them. And only 1 damage and 1 for my energy attack. It will go down to 3 health, and now the rats will attack me. And they roll doubles, so they miss. I was lucky. Now I can spend the 1 damage attack for free. The rats will attack again. They'll deal 2 damage. I can again attack, and then they will fail again. Quite lucky. That will enable me to give them the final punch and destroy the rats. I will have 1 favor and I will have 1 food. And then I will be lost in this labyrinth. It will cost me food, energy, or in this case, health to get out. So 3 health down, and I must move on. Completely depleted from energy. Now I have a clearing, and there is a campsite. I must take that way, and I will encounter a pigman, and he is not so bad. Unfortunately, I don't have the turnip with me, otherwise I would have completed the game by now. Instead, the pigman will give me a blessing. So thanks for the favor, and then I will camp. I will regain 3 health, and I will have 1 energy. Still not impressive. I think I will take this corridor. I know there is a trap, but there is also a surprise, and the trap is 0 damage, and the surprise is the altar, and now I have more favor than the last time. So if I have plus 10 favor, I can gain a shard or full health. So why would I need full health now? Because with the 3rd shard I have completed the game. And, well, in this very moment, it's over. I will leave the dungeon with my 3 shards, and that's it. Great stuff. And at the end of the game, you can count your score. You will get 10 points for each shard, and 1 point for remaining health, energy, and food. 2 points for each favor, and then you'll subtract your dungeon level multiplied with 2. So 30 points for my shards. And then I must correct a few mistakes. I should have used the food in the labyrinth instead of my health. So I would have had 13 health and 1 energy. That's 14. I have 13 favor multiplied with 2. That's a total of 40. And plus the shards, that's 70. And then I subtract the dungeon level multiplied with 2. That's 6. A final score of 64. And that is a pretty good score, I think. So I hope this will give you an impression of this game. There are several additional cards you can get for the game to give you further characters and dungeon cards and loot. And Jason Glover is right now working on additional cards for this as well as some of his other games. And I must say here, I am a fan of Jason Glover and his game design, and especially also his illustrations. He makes it all himself. You can check out the other episodes of Game in Your Pocket. There will be links in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel. And then I hope you'll join me for future playthroughs and bad reps.